Welcome back. It's tomorrow, it's Sunday, it's currently about 1:30 in the afternoon and the day's not looking that great and I feel like I can feel a couple of spits already. But main thing today, I want to get to the little rust spots that I've said before on B, and I definitely want to get the tracking done on it. As it turns out, I was looking in the wrong spots yesterday. I thought it was going to be a lower ball joint track rod end system, but it's not. It's actually up top, which I wasn't really expecting. So a different setup than the last time that I did a track rod end, which was the Peugeot. Actually did this one. I can't even mind one. Peugeot's looking good on that side, not on that side, but all the tracking getting done today. Have double checked, as it turns out, did actually get the right parts for that, which is wonderful. But today, main priority, I just want to get everything clean. Haven't cleaned this car in roughly about 3 years. Haven't cleaned that car in about a couple of weeks. But that thing's, well, both of them are definitely needing it. One of which, because I'm going to be doing the body work on the Corsa B, that's going to be getting a hell of an amount of polishing later on in some time, or later down the line, hopefully soon. Even remembered a kettle today rather than using my heat gun, so we're looking good at the moment. Got some fresh water, have my valeting stuff, so I've got everything that I need to get the cars washed. So far today we're actually looking promising, and hope that we don't have any setbacks, and I hope that the track rod ends won't take me the majority of the day to do. So after I click my fingers, hopefully both cars should be washed and car should be up on stilts. So we're here now, and as it turns out, I didn't bring half as much water as I actually needed, so I managed to get the B cleaned, but unfortunately the MR2 is going to have to wait. B's washed and addressing the matters at hand. As I said, surface rust, nice and easy. Managed to get the duct tape out from here, so gonna make a start on this bit as well. Start priming that up. Start nice and easy, make sure everything's nice and dry. Get a bit of 240 on it. That one's probably the worst one, so I'm gonna make a good start into just sanding everything down, and yeah, we're gonna get to it. So one more click. So I had started this job completely forgetting how long I thought it was going to take me to do the track rod ends. Stupidity on my half, should have done the track rod end first, but decided that I was going to do at least one spot on the car, which was the worst part of it all. I think it's safe to say that's a big improvement in comparison to what we were dealing with before. Unfortunately, that is the only part that I've actually managed to get done in the maybe hour that I've been doing this, mainly because I totally forgot as to how advanced this place is in comparison to the other place that I was in. I forgot that I had Lecky. I also forgot that I had actual tools that would be able to help me in this job, like a sander, for example, because 240 grit was doing the job and for about 45 minutes, and then I remembered that I do have that, and yeah, it's safe to say it got done a wee bit quicker. So I'm hoping that this one is definitely going to get done a lot quicker than the other one. But with that being said, I'm going to give this door sill a little 400 grit, and then I'm going to clean it all up again and then mask it off in about here, primer, and then I'm gonna get onto the track rod ends. As I said, it is the worst part of the car, and it needs to get done. Like, it needs to get done. I'm not straight on the road, realistically, or I am, or at least as best as I can be anyway. So gonna get it jacked up on its stilts, take the wheels off, and see where we can go. I've got confidence that I'll manage to get it knocked out of the park within the next 2-3 hours. So we'll see. And we're back. So we've got a new plan of attack. After coating up the rough spot on the door, I've now realised that after making an attempt at doing the track rod end, I don't have the right size of spanner for this. Unfortunately, the toolkit that I have only goes up to 17mm. I need about an 18 or 19. So, unfortunately, I'm going to be having to go back over to my parents to go and borrow some of my dad's spanners, which is another 20 minutes away. I'm having to wait for this primer to dry. Bit of a nuisance. I really hope that I'd have the right things, but unfortunately it's just another setback. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan at the moment. Waiting for this primer to dry, get in the car, go over to the parents, change both track rod ends, come up to the garage, finish the primer, and start on the rest of the rust spots. This job will definitely be getting done regardless, which is a huge bonus. And it'll be looking a wee bit prettier. There's plenty of other spots that I will need to be addressing on this car, but those will come over time. With the duration that I'm going to be keeping this car, which is a lifetime, there's a more than likeliness that at some point or another it will be getting taken back completely. The whole chassis will probably end up getting repainted. I don't know if I want to keep this color blue or if I want to move on to something else. But black B, not often you come across those, so maybe, I don't know. It'll be a good time. Just another setback. Just another very unfortunate setback. But hey, by the time that I click my fingers this time, we will be at my parents' in the process of doing the track rod ends. Good plan. See how we go. Never here. So I'm at parents' house. They came back on being on a bike trip as my dad's a BMW sales manager for the motorbikes department anyway. So they're just back. I'm gonna get a start on, well, the B obviously. So just basic jack up, track rod off, track rod on, other track rod off, other track rod on, and we're done. Nice and easy. By the time that I click my fingers, this thing should be up and without a track rod end. Okay, now we're in a situation. Unfortunately, the fuel filter was a wee bit more complicated than I had originally thought, to the point that it's used with O-rings and clips and all the rest of it. Some of those are broken, some of them aren't. But it's broken to the point that the new fuel filter won't take the fuel because it just leaks. So now, this has not been a good day, safe to say. Got the track rod ends done on the Corsa. That was great. And this is essentially what I meant by trying to do things early so that I don't have to worry about them later on or not having transport. So, where we are now. Well, I'm sitting on a wall outside Ken's garage in Kildare, waiting to go up to Tesco to go and find a Jubilee clip, because the previous owner that had changed the fuel filter broke the clip that attaches the fuel filter to the line. So this basically means that the fuel filter can't connect back onto the clip. So my next door neighbour got involved and he decided that he was just going to take the whole clip out of the hose so that we just fit the hose over the fuel filler, just slip them in and then just clamp it together. And now we don't have anything to clamp it down with, like a Jubilee clip. And it needs to be a Jubilee clip. So, unfortunately, I'm having to wait for my mother to come back from trying to find one at one spot to now go off to another spot to attempt to find it. So I do not see any sort of forward progress going on. So the track rod ends went really, really well. Not so much the fun. So long story short, this little bit here, that brake has been our whole problem. Fixed with chicken wire. So furious that it's taken us 6 hours, but hey. So we're here. For a second there, I genuinely didn't think I was getting home. I thought I was gonna have to stay in Kildare, and I didn't really want to do that, like, at all. I really don't like doing it. So we're here. Managed to get the chicken wire to work. Tomorrow I'll be going off and finding a new coupler They're interchangeable. Quite a lot of companies have them, so I would imagine that I'll be able to find one tomorrow. But today was a bit of misery, safe to say. It's amazing to think that the track rod ends managed to get done so quickly in comparison to a fuel filler, which should be a 10-minute job, half an hour, nah. But then it turns into... So, be starting this again tomorrow, find the coupler, and starting the rest of the bodywork. I hope that tomorrow is going to be a better day. I just washed my hands. So we're here now. It's currently 10:30. Well, it's 20 to 11 right now. I phoned up a couple of people in Inverness now that it's daylight. This coupler, not the most impossible thing to find. I can get one in 2 days, but I'll wait to go and see if I can try and find one local. I've been recommended a couple of places, so I'm gonna whip round and go and see if any of them have got it. But while I'm on my way to go and do that, I'm gonna go and get the alignment done on the B, because I phoned up a place in Inverness that's happy to do it. 11 o'clock they said, so happy days. I don't know how to explain it, but it definitely didn't feel the same that it normally does, obviously, so there must be some sort of improvement. That's what I'll say about that. But for the time being, we're just going to get a move on. By the time that we get to the garage, I'll have an alignment done and maybe the coupler. Who knows? But for the time being. So, after a couple of hours of running about in Inverness trying to get everything sorted, unfortunately we only got so far. So, where we did get... Oh. I've never noticed that before. Anyway, where we did get, we officially have the track rod ends aligned. So now we have one straight and narrow, and we also have one straight and narrow. It's a huge bonus because the car actually drives pretty spot on. The B just has a wee issue with the steering column because of the size of the wheels that are stuck on the car. It was never designed for this car. It was never designed to have as much width in the front of a set of 205s, because this car, I'll tell you right now what tire size it was actually, because it's those ones are on this tire size. I had previously 165 in comparison to 205, so a lot of strain on the steering, and it's starting to show just with the steering column. There's a lot of, not a lot of, but there's a wee bit of sound coming from it anyway. And as for the coupler for the fuel filter, unfortunately, and it's a good thing that I did actually go over to Vauxhall, because when I had phoned them this morning, they had said to me that they would be able to do it and that would be here for Wednesday. I wanted to go over and double check to make sure that they would be able to get the right part, because people. Anyway, so went in, took the coupler in. Within 2 seconds she says, no, unfortunately we don't do that. But the bit for the fuel filter, sure, we do the clip for that, but not the actual clip from the fuel hose itself. So we're kind of stuck there until, as I've said before, this car is not mine, but it's sitting in a million bits with no engine in it. So I'm just gonna quickly just check. It's almost weird to think that this Corsa B could potentially be the thing that fixes my B, but unfortunately, I don't think he's got this bit. That's the line starting from the tank, so I'm thinking that's a no-go. This thing's rotten, eh? Unfortunately, no coupler here for me to use. Not unexpected, safe to say. More my luck than anything else, but it doesn't matter. It was a 1 in a million chance. I'm not too heartbroken by it. That was the last resort that I had in Inverness. Unless I find a Corsa B that's braking local, which they don't come often. So, stuck. Not stuck, obviously. Not as stuck as I would have been yesterday if we didn't manage to get the chicken wire working. Actually, speaking of which, I'll show you just now what I mean by that, as I didn't do it yesterday. Well, it's on the other side, you nugget. Here's it. There you go. As you can see, this line here, chicken wire, that side there, coupler intact, easily to slip off and on. So, hey, it's sound. It just means that I'll end up having to use the alternative clips that I did find in the shop. There are these. So, God, it's a lot windier than I was expecting down here today. Be getting those on that fuel filter. I'm gonna do it over the chicken wire because better security, I guess. I'll start looking for a new one of those. In saying that, I've been looking for one all day. But hey, anyway, gonna get started on what I was originally gonna do yesterday, which is finishing up the bodywork. With the fact that I've been driving it about and that, unfortunately, and especially with where this is located, my foot kind of caught it a couple of times, but I'm gonna get 1200. Oh my days, what is up with this wind, man? I'm gonna be, I'll get some 800 grit, start going over that primer, get my sanding pads out, start sanding this back, start sanding this back, and she'll be golden. As for the MR2, as I said, I didn't have enough water last time. Did pick up more water, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. Oh, nah. I've just realised. No, it doesn't matter. Gonna get onto that and gonna get prepped, get sorted, get everything masked off, make a start on the sand. Should be good. Still haven't heard anything about the sale for this thing. I have seen that it's meant to be on its way. I might actually just get a wire brush and start taking the rust patches that are slowly coming through, just the surface rust, just because I only put one coat on. I wanted to see what the worst of the rust would come out like after that, because the thing is that I don't want this van ending up like this, essentially, with just... That's rain. What is going on today? So, I don't want the Peugeot ending up like that. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the wire brushes that I previously bought not too long ago, and I'm gonna start sanding back or wire brushing back all the rust patches that come through, and then as soon as it does, I'm gonna get some rust prevention, because I didn't think to do that, and I'm gonna let that set in, and then I'll primer it, and then do another primer, and then do paint, lacquer, done. That's the plan anyway. Probably done the rust prevention with this thing, but as I said before, the car is more than likely going to be getting redone at some point in its lifetime anyway. Rain is still going, and I'm not going to be able to sand this car back in the rain, so I'm going to wait now, see how this rain holds up. And I can't even put the Peugeot, oh, and I can't, nah, this is my spot for the day. So, this is not turning into a good Monday. Safe to say. What have I had done? I have the tracking done. Everything else in between has just been a big headache. So, I'm gonna click my fingers, hope that this rain has stopped, and hopefully get prepared enough to the point that I will actually be able to get sanded down. Sound good? Hey, made a start on the beat. This is kind of where we're at. Started taking all the primer away previously put on. This can all polish back out. But I wanted to kind of... Oh, that wasn't clever, was it? The rust spots are looking pretty snazzy now. All smoothened out. Took some 240 to it. Took that. Oh, today's biggest misery has just been the wind. But on the plus side of today, my best mate Gavin came round, helped me for a wee bit. Started making good progress on the rust spot itself. Had a good chat. He ended up leaving, so Left me to my demise. Ended up getting the Jubilee clips. They've probably blown off somewhere. Ah ha ha! Speak of the devil. Got the Jubilee clip. All in. Now it's actually properly secure. It's not going anywhere, but with the fact that I'm obviously not going to be able to get that one individual part, it's infuriating. It's going to be staying like that for a wee bit. It is what it is. Anyway, so at this point in time, it's about 7 o'clock at night. Gonna make a wee bit more further progress on this, get it all, well, obviously I need to get it primered before I leave. But yeah, at the moment, she's looking okay. Also made a start on this little hole here. Unfortunately, I didn't really get too much into it, but yeah, that's pretty much my next plan. Just getting everything cleaned up, primered, and that'll pretty much be my day, to be honest. It's been a pretty long one. There's only been maybe one or two things of success, and the rest were meh, you know. So had discussions about this. My mate that did the sill and did the bonnet, did the arches, got in touch with me, giving his highest apologies, which obviously I accept because he's a good lad. We have a game plan in motion for the MR2. On Saturday, I'm thinking that we're gonna be sticking insurance on it and it taxed and take it up to Sam's. Sam being the boy that did the bodywork, obviously, and get him to finish up the last little bit off the sill. And he's already said that he just wants to fix a wrong, which happy to abide by. So I think this thing will be going out on its, I say maiden voyage, it's not its maiden voyage. For the time being, she's sitting happy and get it washed before I go up to Sam's. And yeah, that's going to be a really good time. I'm already looking forward to it. Thing is that as soon as Saturday's finished, Sunday morning comes, bing bing, we're up and we're away to Lochgelly to go and watch the first round of the Scottish Drift Championship, a competition that I would have been in. Round 2, I think, is in June time, so we've got about 2 months for the BMW to be finished with an engine swap, new gearbox, and yeah. So no news on that until the car is back in my possession, or at least until we go down to Kingussie, which might be on Sunday. Might actually go and see the BMW. Depends on what Adam's planning. If he's going down to the Scottish Drift Championship himself or not. So, but for now, I'm gonna finish up the sanding on this. And to be honest, it doesn't need any more sanding. It's as smooth as a baby's bottom now. Give it a wee coat over. So yeah, I think I'll do the clicky one more time, and we will be, hopefully it won't be too dark, but we should be finished up with the primering. So okay, so it's now 8:30. And I managed to get the majority of the primering done on the rear anyway. Got a wee bit done on the door sill off the driver's side. Literally, it was just a once. It was just a boop. Oh, there's something in there as well. I can see that. Hopefully this is dried. There we go. Yeah, it's dried, all right. The more important one is this one here. Obviously, because of the light and that. Don't know if you can see by the reflection, but it is just one coat. So I'll be coming back down here tomorrow night. Oh, actually, I've got overtime at work tomorrow, so it'll be around about 3:30 by the time that I get down here. But doesn't matter, because I think I'm just going to start spending every single night down here and just getting to work. So anyway, as I said, one coat done. Also got the wee holy hole for the windscreen wiper delete. So that's also one coat, but it's looking fresh as feet. So at this point, it's just a case of Oh, this is definitely dry now. Yeah, I did that a while ago. So once tomorrow comes and back down here, get 1200 grit on the primer and then give it another coat. Start on bottom bit down there again. So at this very point in time, we're looking alright. Today's been a bit of a pain of the ass, shall we say, but for the time being, I'm just gonna get cleaned up, everything organized, and yeah, that's pretty much how we're going with that. The fact that I managed to get the fuel filter kind of, well, it's, I mean, for the time being, it's pretty permanent because nowhere in Inverness anyway, nowhere online really has it. So unless I find a Corsa B that's breaking at some point or another, and it hasn't got a broken clip, which I wouldn't imagine they mostly do. So anyway, it's late, it's gonna get later, I'm gonna head off, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. If you do enjoy the content, please by all means like, comment, subscribe, that'd be wonderful, and aye, see you in the next one. Hey. Bye.